One of the biggest challenges facing financial institutions is modernising their large, complex IT estate and moving to modern, scalable cloud infrastructure. And with thousands of applications, that's no mean feat, compounded by a sustainability agenda that keeps growing and growing, where banks need to demonstrate the most impeccable sustainability credentials for today's clients, regulators, and legislators. And banks need to move at pace, keeping up with the competition and providing meaningful digital experiences for customers and employees alike. So today, in the heart of London's financial district, we've come to meet GFT, the cloud engineering experts. I'm here to get the opinions of CTO Dean Clark about the challenges, but also the benefits and the opportunities for banks in fully embracing the cloud. Hi Dean, good to meet you. Dean, perhaps I could start by asking you, what are the main challenges facing financial institutions as they begin to fully embrace the cloud?
As you are probably aware, there is a massive war for talent all across the UK and other global markets to try to get some people that understand and have worked with cloud before, preferably someone that's gone through cloud transformation processes, someone that understands the underlying technology. The second one has to be regulations. So, I mean, that's an answer you're going to expect. A lot of the regulators at the moment still haven't caught up exactly what cloud means in terms of the security controls, how they comply to certain existing regulations, and those adaptations are causing areas of grey for banks. So once the regulators really do get under good terms with what they need to do, then the banks will be helped out massively, so they'll be able to accelerate. Finally, I'd probably say security is the other key challenge that we see for new banks moving to the cloud. A lot of the CISO departments or security engineers have spent a long time working in banks traditionally. There aren't many junior people coming up in that profession in banking at the moment. So what we're seeing is a lot of those organisations try to apply the security principles that they would to a data centre in the cloud. And by doing that, they're stifling innovation and they're really trying to reduce the amount of agility that their organisation can have.
Are you finding financial institutions reacting to digital transformation quickly enough?
Some of those large banks have come up against some of the new challenges into the market, and they've actually given themselves a really good base to continue to make sure they keep a lot of their customers and they don't start losing out. However, we have seen a number of the banks that have made that later decision to move, and they can only be doing what I describe really as follow the leader. So they've seen everybody else jump onto the cloud, they've heard all about these wonderful benefits in agility and lower cost, and without really doing too much cost or validation in terms of regulations or security or what their operating model looks like, they've just gone whole hog, moved all of their infrastructure or started to move all of their infrastructure into the cloud, and lo and behold, they've started to get bigger costs. It's not giving them the agility that they expected because they've not done it properly.
Dean, what can you tell us about the choices banks are making in the use of public and private cloud? And to what extent is this driven by data location and regulation?
We see a lot of banks that are worried about the security, worried about being able to comply with regulations and laws. So any of that data with sort of personal data, PII type information on it, certain governments will need to retain that data in that jurisdiction, in that country. So in that instance, the only real solution at the moment is to keep that on a private cloud or to use one of the newer solutions from the public cloud providers, which enables you to keep that in your data center and then connect into the backbone with the necessary security controls to prevent that external egress.
How important is it for banks to move away from simply moving legacy applications into the cloud rather than re-engineering them and utilizing modern cloud native tooling?
Where we are seeing the savings is a number of clients that we're working with at the moment where they've really paid attention to getting off on the right footing. So they've looked at the target operating model, they've looked at the proper business strategy and the business vision. What products are they looking at launching? How can they move their existing products into a more digital channel? How can they look at the needs of their users, the needs of their customers, put those at the forefront, and then build their cloud journey and their cloud solution around that? By doing that, they then can take advantage of things like PaaS and SaaS services, and they can remodel a lot of their application architecture and simplify it, and then make much better savings in cost, much better output in terms of agility, efficiency, and things like that. So our experience over the last 2 years is that the banks that have done that re-architecture and re-engineering are in a lot better place now than those that haven't.
Are banks predominantly using on-premises existing bank-owned data centers, or private cloud, virtual machines, or public cloud, multi-cloud, or a mixture of all?
What we're still seeing is that certain workloads aren't yet ready to transform. So we are still seeing that mixture. There is one bank actually that has spent an awful lot of its investment and capital on a private cloud infrastructure on-prem, and they still, apart from one or two small proof of concepts, still haven't moved away from that, and they're actually reinvesting in some of that existing infrastructure. So not every bank has chosen to go whole hog yet. In terms of the multi-cloud angle, some of the banks have, rather than just chosen one cloud provider and they've put all of their eggs in one basket, they've looked to see which one is maybe the best fit for their business as a whole. They've gone down the route of actually selecting 2 or even 3 vendors to say, well, each one of these has its own strengths and will have benefits for different types of workloads. And then they're choosing to put the right workload on the right cloud, which is great. This obviously brings some additional complexities where you've got to look at things like tooling so that you can manage all 3 clouds in a similar way.
And thinking about the future for cloud in banking, what do you see as the evolution of cloud technology in financial services? Is full multi-cloud the next step for banks?
What I think I would like to see going forward is that we can start to look at some of those, albeit stable, legacy platforms like mainframe. We can try to break down some of the big monolithic platforms and use some of the more newer technologies. I mean, microservices isn't that new anymore, but compared to some of these legacy banking platforms, it is. So I'm really looking forwards to the future in terms of what some of these technologies are going to bring, and hopefully GFT will continue to be at the forefront of that.
Dean Clark, thank you very much. Some great responses. So there you have it. Banking on a multi-cloud future. Still a work in progress, but a great deal of transformational work has been done already. Thanks for watching.